YouTube channel. Today video is on the topic of the tarsal tunnel syndrome. It is an interesting syndrome. It is just as opposite to the carpal tunnel syndrome. But as carpal tunnel syndrome is present in the upper limb, the tarsal tunnel syndrome is present in the lower limb, mainly in the ankle and the foot region. So the contents of today's video are, first of all, I will tell you about the location of the tarsal tunnel, where it is located. Then I will tell you about the contents of the tarsal tunnel, that which structures pass through the tarsal tunnel. Then I will tell you about the causes and syndrome. What is a tarsal tunnel syndrome and what are its various causes due to which this syndrome occurs. Then I will tell you about the various examination points on which you can make the diagnosis about the tarsal tunnel syndrome. And in the end, I will tell you about the different treatment modes, both the conservative treatment and the surgical management of the tarsal tunnel syndrome. So let's first of all start with the location of the tarsal tunnel. We are now starting with the location of the tarsal tunnel. Tarsal tunnel is a fibro-osseous tunnel which is located posterior and inferior to the medial malleolus. So I will write its location down. It is a fibro-osseous which is located posterior and inferior to the medial malleolus. Okay. If we draw it, we can also draw it. This one right here is the tibia. This you can say calcaneus. This is the foot. And if this is the medial malleolus, so the tunnel is located posterior and inferior to the medial malleolus right here. Different structures pass through this tunnel from here to. It is also covered by flexor retinaculum. So if anyone asks about the location of the tarsal tunnel, you have to tell them that it is a fibro-osseous tunnel which is located posterior and inferior to the medial malleolus, and it is covered by flexor retinaculum. Or contents passing through the tarsal tunnel, there are in total 5 contents that pass through the tarsal tunnel, which are, the first one is the tibialis posterior. The second one is the flexor digitorum longus. The third one is the flexor hallucis. The fourth one and the fifth one are slightly different. They are the posterior tibial artery and the posterior tibial nerve. Okay, so in total, the number of contents passing through the tarsal tunnel are 5. The first one is the tibialis posterior tendon. The second one is the flexor digitorum tendon. The third one is the flexor hallucis. The fourth and fifth one are the posterior tibial artery and the posterior tibial nerve. In the tarsal tunnel syndrome, we are mainly concerned with the posterior tibial nerve. Alright, it is the compression of the posterior tibial nerve in the tarsal tunnel which in turn causes the tarsal tunnel syndrome. About the tarsal tunnel syndrome itself, so the tarsal tunnel syndrome is a compression neuropathy which is caused due to the compression of the posterior tibial nerve within the tarsal tunnel. So I will write its definition. It is a compression neuropathy. caused due to the compression of the posterior tibial nerve in the tarsal tunnel. Alright, so if anyone asks you what is tarsal tunnel syndrome itself, you can answer them that it is the compression neuropathy which is caused due to the compression of the tibial nerve within the tarsal tunnel, and it is by far the most common compression neuropathy in the region of the ankle and foot. So this is its definition. It is a compression neuropathy caused due to the compression of the posterior tibial nerve within the tarsal tunnel. Now I will tell you about various causes of tarsal tunnel syndrome, that why does it occurs and how it can be managed. Causes of the tarsal tunnel syndrome, that why does it occurs? It occurs due to various of reasons. I will list down some of the important causes. The first one is the thickening of the flexor retinaculum. As I told you before, that flexor retinaculum covers the tarsal tunnel. So if the flexor retinaculum gets thicker, it can cause compression in the tarsal tunnel, which can in turn result in tarsal tunnel syndrome. So the first cause is the thickening of flexor retinaculum. Other causes can include RA or diabetes, any history of trauma, malaligned foot, or any lipoma or ganglion. So these are the 5 major causes due to which tarsal tunnel syndrome can occur. Due to the thickening of the flexor retinaculum, which is the main cause, then due to any metabolic disorder, RA, diabetes, any history of trauma. His trauma can result in tarsal tunnel syndrome. Malaligned foot, if the foot is not properly aligned, and then lipoma and ganglion. These are also related to nerve and tendon and the surrounding structures which surround them. So these are the 5 main causes of the tarsal tunnel syndrome. Now talking about the diagnosis of the tarsal tunnel syndrome, there are 2 important tests which you can perform to confirm your diagnosis. The first one is the compression test, and second test is the Tinel test. So talking about the compression test, in compression test, you have to take the ankle into dorsiflexion and foot into evert. Both these movements cause pressure or compression to build up in the tarsal tunnel, and if the patient is suffering from tarsal tunnel syndrome, the symptoms will increase. So a positive compression test will lead towards your diagnosis. The second test is the Tinel test. It is rather a simpler test, so just have to tap on the tarsal tunnel. And if you get the signs of the nerve compression, and the patient symptoms increase, or numbness or tingling or paresthesia occurs, then the Tinel test is also positive, and it can also lead you towards your diagnosis. One thing which you can more add is the nerve conduction studies, which is also known as the EMG. So these are the 3 things on which you can confirm your diagnosis and then lead towards the treatment of the tarsal. Okay everyone, in the end, talking about the treatment options in case of a tarsal tunnel. So you can go by 2 ways. First one is the conservative management, and second is the surgical management. Talking about the conservative management, the things you can do is immobilization, then anti-inflammatory drugs, third one are the steroid injections, so these are the three things which you can do in case of conservative management. First is the immobilization, immobilize the foot. Second one is the anti-inflammatory medication to decrease down the inflammation, and third one is the steroid injection, which causes the relief of pain in quick time. And talking about the surgical treatment is only one, which is the tarsal tunnel release. It is a surgical procedure in which space within the tarsal tunnel is increased so that the nerve doesn't compresses. So these are the two treatment regimes which you can follow. The first one is the conservative, which includes immobilization, anti-inflammatory medication, and steroid injection. And second one is the surgical management, which is the tarsal tunnel release. Everyone, that was all from the video of the tarsal tunnel syndrome. I hope you liked my video and all your concepts got clear. If you have any query, you can ask me in the comment section. If you liked my video, give it a thumbs up and kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel Medical Knowledge. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice